Okay, good evening. This is our lecture video part 2. And this time I will be discussing with you the problem regarding the translation of financial statements, of course in the consolidated FS, but prior to that, also the remeasurement of certain accounts in the separate statement of financial position. So we refer to the second problem of Forex in our latest handout about Kia Philippines and Kia Japan. So basically, Kia Philippines has two transactions involving notes receivable and supplies. And during their respective transaction or inception dates, notes receivable as well as supplies being foreign currency denominated transactions were measured to pesos using the rates on their respective transaction or inception date. Then the notes receivable at $1 is to 30 pesos and the supplies $1 is to 20 pesos. Come December 31, the reporting date, only the notes receivable was remeasured to 40 pesos. The rate on December 31, 2020, which is the reporting date in the problem, the notes receivable being a monetary asset which is to be collected in a fixed units of currency in $18 to be exact. So therefore it has an exposure. Then as a consequence, by December 31 there is a need to remeasure what was measured on the transaction date, resulting to a forex gain in the amount of for $1 10 pesos, since from $1 to 30 to $1 to 40 by December 31. So 18,000 times 10 pesos is the forex gain. While the supplies being a non-monetary asset, by December 31 in the separate statement of financial position of Kia Philippines is still has a reportable amount equivalent to the rate on the date of transaction. So to summarize, only monetary assets as well as monetary liabilities are to be remeasured on the reporting date, therefore resulting to either forex gain or forex loss. Now for the second question regarding the consolidated FS, now this time translation, since notes receivable and supplies are both assets, whether monetary or non-monetary, for the sake of consolidated FS, since Kia Philippines is a subsidiary of Kia Japan, whose presentation currency is in yen, so therefore we translate all assets using the closing rate. So therefore 1 peso is to 3 yen. So that's it. And for the first problem in the handout, it is basically a follow-up, a review of what we did last week. Then so let me remind you that in translating FS, our method is the current rate method, which of course the background of which is that the subsidiary is assumed to be not integrated with the parent, independent, autonomous, self-sufficient. So therefore we use the current rate method, and under that method all assets and liabilities are translated using the closing rate. All revenues and expenses are translated using the rate at their transaction date. Okay, and for practical reasons and for convenience, we are allowed to use average rate. But for stockholders' equity accounts, basically historical rates for ordinary shares, preference shares, share premium, rate on the date of issuance, dividends rate on the date of declaration, and we don't translate retained earnings using a single rate, but instead we translate its components, namely the net income and the dividends. Of course, it will not be equal because of the use of different rates. So as a balancing figure, translation will result to a cumulative translation adjustment debit or credit balance presented as OCI in the statement of financial position. or translation gain or loss in the statement of comprehensive income. So that's it, and see you on our lecture video part 3.